Can you hear me?
Yep.
I think I need another earphone because I'm hearing this tapping noise in my ear. Are you hearing that?
No.
Okay. We're not recording on. Oh,
We definitely are.
hey girl, hey.
Hey, boo.
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome back. Shit, what's
I'm
good?
saying.
I mean, look,
we
we've
had a
been
nice
gone.
little break.
Okay, been back. You know what I'm saying? Had to enjoy our little holiday, our little break.
But now we in this bitch, new year, new me.
Okay, loves. I know y'all missed us. I know you did. Some of y'all missed us so much that we had to reach out and tell y'all to check out our live tweet and look, we're back though.
And we had some little retweets. Some of that shit was hitting. So thanks, y'all.
We definitely appreciate it. We've seen the new listeners and the followers. So you guys have been listening and telling a friend to tell a friend, and we totally appreciate it.
Yep.
So I mean, what's been up, Shay?
Since our last episode, or
right? It's been a smooth 3 weeks.
Well, for the new listeners, new year, new us. I'm Shay. Before we get started,
right? And I'm Dice. How y'all doing? And we're the Chatty Patties.
Okay.
So if you're new listeners, we welcome you. We appreciate you. When you get the time, we want you to listen to the first 20 episodes because we are rolling on 21. Yes. So if you're new, welcome. We appreciate you, love. And for our faithful listeners, welcome back. Welcome to the new year, 2019. We in this thing.
You missed us, yeah, bitch.
You definitely missed us. And we missed y'all too.
Some of you.
So what? Ain't nothing changed. We still sipping. So for the new listeners,
sure.
Yes, we definitely sip during our taping. So
you might hear liquid
and ice.
One time, I think one of my bottles fell. You'll get used to it.
Not the whole bottle though. They were like, "What have I gotten myself into?" Lord Jesus.
We 2 minutes in.
Oh, for sure. So, like we said, we are on episode 21, and we've been gone for a while, so we're just gonna be talking about surviving. That's what we're calling it. Surviving.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. And we mean surviving everything. We're gonna get into survival. So, first thing, I guess since we've been gone, surviving the holidays, because it was 47 holidays since we last seen you guys. I'm definitely being dramatic, but it definitely was Christmas and New Year's and Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and whatever else you guys celebrate. But yeah,
we made it. How was yours?
So my holidays were cool. I ate like it was Thanksgiving part 2. Definitely was grubbing. It was definitely feast. Definitely drank a lot.
Yeah.
Consistently. So my liver is very excited that it's a new year. And right now I don't have any reason to heavily drink until the weather breaks. And then...
or until Super Bowl.
That. Because every Sunday is a drinking reason for me, especially last Sunday. But we won't go into football. So, what else did I do? I got to see my boo Shay and hang out with Shay and JT.
Mm-hmm.
And that was amazing. Had a good time.
That did happen after we... Damn, I feel...
That's what I'm saying. We've been gone for a minute, and a lot has happened since we last talked to our loves. Been gone
for a minute now. I'm back
with the jump off. You make me sick. But I went out, had a little impromptu game night or two at my house, which was the worst. Because let me tell you something, listeners. I somehow got so inebriated in my home that we played spades, and I reneged. And for those of you that don't play spades, that is the most unacceptable, unforgivable thing. And literally, I pride myself in being a pretty decent spades player, and I don't renege, but honey, when I say I reneged bad, yes, indeed. It was super embarrassing, but you know, it is what it is. I'm going to blame it on the adult beverage.
But you know who won out? JT.
I mean, it was guys versus girls, and if I wouldn't have reneged, they was losing by a lot, and that reneged, yeah.
They came back. Comeback kids, okay?
We're going to teach you how to play spades. That's what we're going to do.
I know how to play spades.
So why don't you never play?
Because I hate playing with you niggas. Because y'all get way too... I don't play spades with niggas. I don't play Monopoly with niggas. And I'm starting not to want to play Uno with y'all niggas either.
Oh, Uno is like super serious. It's like up there with spades and tongue. For real, for real. Like, that's some serious stuff right there.
Like, niggas be ready to shoot you at the end of these games. And I just be trying to have
definitely
fun.
At a minimum a fist fight. Like, at a bare minimum, it's going to be. What else? Oh, over the holidays. First of all, winter break in TV was trash.
Oh
my gosh. So
what would we have talked about?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we needed this break because, like, literally nothing was on TV except Love and Hip Hop Miami started, which is hella dry right now. So that was
Love and Hip Hop New York is dry right now.
Oh my goodness, I'm behind. So I'm behind the episode. So don't kill me.
You ain't missed nothing.
Oh my goodness. But let's see. I did binge watch Grownish. And
I still haven't caught up.
Yeah, so I in the beginning, I think I watched like the first 3 episodes, and then I don't know if I forgot about it or just started watching other shows.
Hold on, wait, are you talking about from last season?
Last season and this season, because I think there are only 3 episodes into this season.
I'm like, I'm not caught up on this season, but you were behind from last season too.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
I'm judging. I just wanted you to catch it.
I mean, but I had time, and I'm caught up now. Oh, okay. So yes, I'm definitely caught up, and I was kind of in my feelings because I was definitely Team Cash, but we will not go into that. So, what else? Oh, the whole rave over the winter break was Bird Box.
Yeah.
And I definitely watched it. The crazy thing is, like, I was seeing online, everybody was talking about this movie called Bird Box. And they were always talking about how crazy it was. So I was actually one evening asleep on the couch, and my husband apparently had started watching it, but in my sleep, I'm a light sleeper, folks. So I don't know if I heard some fuck shit in my sleep and was like, whoa. But whoa, what's going on here? Is this a dream or reality? But I woke up, and he was probably like 15 minutes or so into the movie. So I missed the first 15 minutes, which I heard is a lot of shit that went on in the first 15 minutes. But yeah, I watched it from the time that I woke up, and literally my anxiety level was up from the time I opened my eyes and was watching this movie to
the birds.
The end. The very fucking end. The very end. Okay. So yeah, I watched that, and I watched that other movie. I cannot pronounce the name of it, but it was like the Black Mirror one where there was like the interactive one.
Banger Dash.
Definitely can't pronounce that. Yeah, and it was like
that?
No, it was weird. Like, okay. I did that. We watched that with my husband and my mother-in-law, because my mother-in-law was here for like a week or so for the holidays, spending time with us and the kids, which was lit. Actually, I really love my mother-in-law. People have like really. You
told me.
I know, which is crazy because people have horror stories on their mother-in-laws, but like my mother-in-law is so lit. I literally was blessed with my mother-in-law because like I can hang with her, I can chill with her, like. I really bang with her.
I don't want my own mom in my house for a week.
So let alone somebody else's mom, right?
Right.
I didn't mind. Like, she's super, super cool. Like, I'm here for it. And we into the same TV show, so we not fighting over what to watch on TV. Until she started watching the old stuff, like, in the heat of the night. Then I'm like, all right, Mom. So she definitely be watching Matlock in the heat of the night, and me and Brandon be like,
oh my goodness.
So, Mom, like, is this like one episode thing, or you gonna go through the whole marathon? Like, what we about to do here? But
girl,
as long as she stay on track with the shows like we watch together, then it's no issue.
She'd have been kicked into the man cave.
They like in the heat.
Yes.
I'm like, all right, Mom. So we about to go downstairs and watch something else.
Fuck out of here.
But yes, that was cool. We watched that. Well, no, it wasn't cool, but it was cool watching it with her. But like the little interactive thing where you choose like what you want the people to do. But it was weird. Like
Mara got frustrated. She was like, I'm over this, and she just left.
It was super weird. Weird. And I guess we was picking all the wrong answers because it definitely was going back and was like, all right, let's try this again. Well, what kind of cereal do you want? And I was like, oh shit.
That was the purpose of the movie. That's what we ended up finding out. Like, ultimately, it gives you the illusion of choice, but honestly, you didn't have a choice because at the end, it chose, and I'm not gonna say what it because
it's for those of you who actually want to watch it, but
I don't know why. But ultimately, no matter what, if you didn't choose the right thing, it would make you go back to choose the right thing. So
it's like ultimately, it might be some little subliminal. You might be right there. Like it might be like everyone thinks that they have choice, but in actuality, you really ain't. Right. You're still a fucking puppet.
JT had actually said it early on in the movie, and at first I was kind of into it. So I was like, no, fuck out of here. But then as we kept going, I was like, all right. So then after a while, we just started picking the obvious shit that we knew really wouldn't like go through with it just to see. And sure enough, every time
it was going bad.
Dog, there was this one time it took us through this long little loop to the point where it was like we actually forgot that we had actually made a choice. Only to go all the way back and be like, yeah, fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Pick the other thing. I was like, that.
I think that happened to us too. Was it the little joint where like, I don't want to tell the movie, never mind. I'm not going to tell them. But yeah, I think it was like around a decision about like
was counseling. It on the computer?
Counseling following the dude?
No, it was a decision that was on the computer.
Oh, and yes, that went back like 2 or 3 times. Where it was like Symbol, Netflix. So I was like, yes, what? Yes. I don't know. But
so we picked one, and it took us around the world only for us to go back to that scene. It had took us so far that I forgot that we was even at the computer.
He was like, "Oh, wait a minute, we did choose that." I'm like, "Which one did we choose in the first place?" Okay,
right.
Yeah, that movie was like super confusing. But loves, if you guys want to go check it out, we're not gonna ruin it for you. You go ahead and check that out. And if you are cool with your anxiety level being through the roof, go ahead and watch Bird Box. Even though like
I feel like everybody watched it,
but just like social media, to me, probably like 80% of the people that I saw like bang with the joint. But then of course you got those people that if everybody say left, they're gonna say right. So they was just like, I mean, it reminds me of this movie and like I don't know why y'all so hyped and blah blah. Look, if a movie can really mess up my mood and have me walking around the living room to the fact that like you're stressing me out that I can't even sit down and watch a movie, like you got a thumbs up for me, because I literally was stressed out. So
somebody said it was like The Happening, and I don't know if anybody's ever seen The Happening.
I did not watch it. I saw that too. Like I saw that people were saying it, but I had never watched that movie.
The Happening, first of all, if you know anything about M. Night Shyamalan, that guy, you know that all of his movies, with the exception of The Sixth Sense, are some bullshit. Right. All of them got some dumbass, weak ass twist at the end. And I'm gonna spoil this movie because I don't want none of my listeners to go and waste their time. In The Happening, they have some weird ass disease or infection, virus, or whatever, and come to find out the shit was in the trees.
Ooh. So they had to stay. So in the movie, like, they had to stay away from trees? Like, is that what it was? Like, I don't know, because I swear I have never heard of the movie and I've never seen it.
It was, first of all, it had Mark Wahlberg in there.
Oh, I like Mark Wahlberg. You don't like him?
I do like him. I like him in select roles, though. There are certain roles he needs to be in.
He needs to stay in his action movies, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. Or
just like take off your shirt and be in action movies, and that's it.
Or he's funny on like Daddy's Home. He's funny, but in this one, he was like a science teacher. First of all.
And the other guys, he's really funny on that.
Yeah, so those like action or comedy, that's for him. But like, first of all, I'm not taking you seriously as no science teacher. Fuck out of here. You're not that great of an actor for me to believe that
you're a teacher.
And then because he has that like funny, sarcastic way about him, there were scenes that I felt like they were supposed to be serious, but I couldn't take them seriously because I was just like, nigga, you sound like a doofus right now. Why are you even talking like that? Listen, it was in the trees. And then it just started and it ended, and that was the end. And
there it is.
The Happening was whack. So I do think that maybe there were some similarities, but Bird Box executed it
a lot better.
A lot better, because in The Happening, I wasn't as stressed out as I was with Bird Box in a good way. I was just kind of like, oh my God, can we just get the fuck on with this?
And let me say something. The follow-up and the memes from Bird Box, my lord.
Yeah, a lot of y'all are seeming like Bird Box bitches this week, but let me sip my wine.
All right. So keeping on with surviving, we might as well go on to the most obvious that I know all of the world is probably talking about now. And if you're not, you probably have heard the world talk about it, is this docu-series surviving R. Kelly. And
Before we start, I'm so sorry.
No.
A few weeks ago, this has been weighing heavy on my heart. A few weeks ago, we were having a discussion about the king of R&B. And based on, and because I got to, save myself here, because y'all, I don't want y'all out here canceling.
But I was actually in agreement with you, so I was with you. I was backing you.
Based on music, projects, writing, all that good stuff, influence, I had said that he was the king of R&B. But guess what?
I'm reneging.
I'm reneging that nigga. We canceling that shit. If you didn't know, now you know. I want y'all to be clear that Shay is canceling R. Kelly. I'll walk you down. I'll walk you down the journey. Just
right.
But he ain't the king. I don't know who the king is now. But it ain't him.
I guess Chris Brown has moved up.
You like that loving.
Yeah, kiss. You make me sick. So for those of y'all who either decided that you aren't even going to look at it or have been under a rock and have not heard about it, basically there was a docu-series. It was a 3-part docu-series, well, a 3-night docu-series that consisted of 6 one-hour shows about R. Kelly, Robert Kelly, and it was aired on Lifetime. And it was Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. So it was a 3-night thingy that started at like 9 and ended at 11, something like that. But each night it was 2 1-hour episodes.
And it was a lot because I go to sleep early.
It's a lot. And it was super draining because I'm staying up way past my bedtime 3 nights in a row. Like, whoa.
What are we doing?
What are we doing here? Only to be drained emotionally during those 2 hours. But I was seeing that a lot of people were even criticizing folks for watching it because they were just like, I don't understand, because all you guys watching this is just going to make him even more popular and increase his music streams, which I actually saw that it did. Some kind of way his streaming music, his numbers went up. But I know me personally, Dice wanted to watch this because I actually had no clue that it was this deep, and we definitely will go deeper into everything that was talked about and our feelings on what was discussed on this docuseries. But I honestly personally didn't know that this much was going on, and I honestly think that it was important that the awareness was brought out to these things and it was brought to light so that people like me who thought like a lot of this shit was just rumors and like, it's just some shit that was said and was on the Chappelle show and made fun of. They're like, nah, bitch, like this shit's really going on and it's for real, like some serious shit. So for those of y'all who feel like niggas that was actually watching it was like should be canceled, I actually disagree. I feel like, that's maybe the reason why this shit has gone on so long, because people haven't brought shit to light. But that's just my opinion, personally. But so where the fuck do we start?
About none of y'all opinions, and I can't wait to cuss y'all out. But...
Look, let me tell you something. The amount of opinions, the amount of contradictory opinions, like social media for the past 5 or 6 days has been trash. Trash is the most amazing word to use, because some people that I actually respect and care about as friends and maybe colleagues and even some like celebrities and stuff, and their opinions on this, I have given them the rock side eye with the one eyebrow up, like that's how you really feel. So it's just interesting to me to see all these different opinions. And like, I mean, it's America. Everybody has an opinion, just like they have an asshole. That's fine. But it's just shocking on some of the stances that people are taking with this situation. But
let's start with night one.
You want to break it down by night? What they kind of covered? So for me, I'm just going to say just the first night, so the first 2 hours, the things that were discussed that I didn't know. And like I said, there was maybe, I was ignorant. A lot of times when, to me, in my age group, when everybody was like listening to R. Kelly and it was popping, social media wasn't out there. So a lot of this stuff we heard about, but it wasn't like how it is now. Like if somebody do some fucked up shit this day and age, like we gonna know all the details down to the mole on somebody's forehead. Like that's just how it is now. But some things that I didn't know, I did not know this nigga couldn't read or write. That's one.
Dog.
I did not know he was on his motherfucking Floyd Mayweather. I did not know.
I didn't know that. And his wife said something on like the second or third night, like she was like, "Who is booking your flights? Because you can't read or write." So in my mind, I'm like, "Nigga, you can't read that goddamn bad,
right?"
Like,
how was you
point
writing
where you
songs,
can book
my
your
G?
own flight?
Dog,
That's
he has
crazy.
written songs for so many people. So the thought process and putting these words so beautifully together, like nigga, how? But apparently it was confirmed by multiple people that this nigga could not read or write, which is mind-boggling to me. Because like I said, that wasn't even a rumor that I had heard before. Like, so that was completely new to me. I didn't know that he was sexually abused as a kid along with his brothers.
I heard it was by his older sister.
Really? I know
Yeah.
that one of the brothers that they interviewed said that they weren't going to put it out there, but they alluded that it was a family member. But wow, I didn't know that part.
Somebody in the family did an interview. This was before the documentary or docuseries or whatever it's called, and said that it was, I think her name is Teresa Kelly. But then I want to say that even in the during the docuseries, R. Kelly said it was a dude. So maybe he got molested by a dude and a sister, or maybe that person was mistaken. I don't know. What I gathered from the first night though about the Kelly family is that they're all fucked up because brother Bruce in jail.
And then the other one is fucking delusional.
Listen, Bruce Kelly.
Some of the stuff he was saying, bro, I was like, why y'all do this? Why y'all set this camera up to this dude?
Right? You know what? I like that they had the family out there because it got to show you like the mentality of the family. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it showed the layers of fuck shit. Like this is just an onion of fuck shit.
Exactly.
And it's like it has one nasty ass nigga at the core and a whole bunch of nasty fuck niggas.
Oh my goodness.
Peeling back the layers. I also didn't know, even after watching the fucking Aaliyah documentary, which I feel like was so tacky that they aired that right before this shit started on Lifetime. Like that was shown right before the this docuseries started on Thursday. I was like, y'all tacky shit. But I didn't know that she was 12 when they first started messing with each other. 12? So, I thought they were 15, my G.
Well, 15 is when she came out. So, you know, back then they took way longer than they do with albums because that's why they were better.
Music, right?
Yeah. So
he's like, because they were better. I heard that shit.
So quick Shay fact, I was like an Aaliyah fucking fanatic. Like
I love Aaliyah.
Up until my adulthood, I would not even entertain conversations about her and R. Kelly. Because in my mind, it was just like, no, she's pure. And no, I really was like, I was delusional. But I also was like hella young. So, you know, whatever. But I did know that like her uncle, Barry Hankerson, or I think that's his name, had introduced to R. Kelly to help develop her, you know, as an artist and all that good stuff. So by the time she came out with Age Ain't Nothing But a Number, that's when she was like 14, 15.
So that, so I guess that makes sense then, because like you said, it takes a minute for you to develop the artist, because back then they actually developed artists and worked on your sound and your look. You actually did music videos and all of that stuff and worked on your voice, and you had a team to start working on your album, and it had listening, all that stuff.
That's why those albums are classics. But
and now we just like, something came out this week and something come out next week.
Right.
But so that kind of blew me away that was like 12. I just think of people that I know that are 12 or close to 12, and I'm just like, yo, I want to throw up.
My daughter's 11.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just like, yo, this shit made all the fucking like eyebrows and everything follicles raised. Also, maybe I've been under a rock. I did not know that R. Kelly and his ex-wife Andrea had 3 kids together.
I didn't know they had any kids.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I honestly did not know R. Kelly had any kids, let alone any kids with Andrea. Because when she was on that show with Will Smith's ex-wife, I forgot the name of the show. Like,
I didn't watch it, but I know what show you're talking about because Prince's ex-wife was
yes,
on there.
all of them. And I really watched that show. Like, it was okay. But I watched that show when that was out, and there was no mention of children. She didn't really go in too deep about R. Kelly either. But
she probably wanted to protect her kids because, I mean, based on all this shit, they probably had to go through a lot.
A hell of a lot. And then I read that one of their children is transgender. So I just know that is a lot going on with my dad's R. Kelly, like all of this stuff, these rumors going on. So like it probably was, like you said, to protect the
Is it a boy that transitioned into
a girl?
Is it?
Yeah.
Because men are trash, and he recognized that at an early age.
Look, this is Shay. That's Shay saying that. Okay, we gonna define who's talking in 2019.
I'll let you know.
But yeah, those are things that like I was 100% clueless to. That literally my jaw was like, what? Like, that's crazy. What are some things that like you learned that you didn't know? Like you were like, what the fuck?
There was so I did like him being abused. I did learn. Mm-hmm. I just want to point out really quickly, guys, that just because you were molested as a child doesn't mean you'll grow up to also be molested. You can hear all about it on one of our previous
I was
podcasts
definitely about to
talk
say.
about our own personal experiences. And as far as I know, we've both been able to grow up without fucking children. But that's
there it is. There it is.
My grandmother is from Chicago, so I have cousins and aunts and uncles up there. And my favorite older cousin, this was years ago. I remember her and her girlfriends on Facebook talking about how R. Kelly used to be up at their high school. So to hear how he used to go up there and just post up and prey on high school girls wasn't a shock, because I was like, well, I heard firsthand my cousin and then we're talking about, such and such who they knew, that fell for the drive-by or whatever the case may be, and just how like disgusted some of them were and how enamored other people were. So I remember hearing about that from my cousin years ago. There wasn't the early stuff, that kind of stuff I had heard about. It was just gross to hear, basically. Yeah. Like to hear on what level he was doing it on. And really what was like disturbing was how many of these grown ass men were just like, how they knew about it. Look, what was his name? Demetrius, the
assistant. Oh my gosh, I was going to get into that, but let me tell you something. He needs to be locked under the jail right along with Robert. Because let me tell you something. And like I said, we're going to probably get into this deeper if we break it down by nights. But what angered me, and that a lot of the victims said, he couldn't do all of this alone. You can't cover up this much shit and this much stuff going on alone. So the fact that you have a grown motherfucking men and women, I don't know if it was women, but mainly the ones that they interviewed was men. But you have grown people covering fuck shit. You are going out when he says, bring me women. You are specifically bringing out young girls and seeking and bringing to them, because obviously he like, all right, I gotta lay low, but you know what I'm saying, bring me the young joints. Y'all are going out and bringing the joints to them. If y'all would have put y'all foot down and been like, fuck that, I know this is a paycheck, but like, you got me fucked up, like what's going on, like I'm not dealing with this shit. Maybe if enough motherfuckers put their foot down, he wouldn't have access to do this shit under all this protection and behind all these doors. But I feel like they are just as guilty and aiding this nigga. Isn't that like something aiding in the bed? And ain't that some shit? Like, no, like y'all just as fucking guilty in my book. Like, to me.
I'm with you. I think the shit. Demetrius Smith for sure. He's the
Fucking
one that
disgusting.
helped to get the documents, the forged documents for like the Aaliyah marriage and all this other
Yes,
stuff.
when he mentioned that, he was like, "Yeah, I helped forge the marriage certificate, saying that she was 18 when they got married. Like, I was there. Like, and he's just describing this little ceremony like he was proud. Like, it was really simple, you know. Like, they shut the fuck up. Like, shut all the way the fuck up.
Oh, you know what I realized the first night?
What's that?
I love Aaliyah.
Mm-hmm.
Her mom has to let it the fuck go though, because
Well,
her mom put out a notice, a thing the next day, and was like, you know, whoever that woman is in that docuseries, she's never met my daughter, and she's making up lies. And we were
man,
with
you were
our
not there 24 hours.
yes,
Like,
we were
please
with our
kill it.
daughter every day while
You
she was
weren't.
on tour, and it's
No,
like,
you
listen,
weren't.
one thing I may have been really young, but one thing I remember, that motherfucking marriage certificate was a real thing.
Right.
So y'all weren't there if they got married. You know what I'm
If they
saying?
was able to get hitched, you wasn't there
You
24
wasn't
hours a
there.
day. Please
So,
no. Please trust and believe.
and I don't know if she was just like wanting to protect the legacy of her daughter, and I could understand that, but I feel like at this point a lot of people knew about that, and Aaliyah was still able to go on and
Have a flourishing career.
right.
Like,
I think her legacy for the most part is cool, but it's just like you're actually not helping by being by either lying or just being delusional as fuck. Because I
exactly.
feel like if she was just to be like, you know what, I've been keeping this lie up for so long, this actually did happen, but once we realized that R. Kelly was a piece of shit,
we shut that shit the fuck down,
and
and
that
we
would
got
just
that shit annulled.
right, that wouldn't hurt Aaliyah's legacy. In my opinion, everybody
Right.
would look at her, well, they might not look at her that way, because based on the comments from you raggedy bitches, it's all our fault. But
Love.
I don't know. That's just my opinion. But who am I?
Definitely his whole camp. They're all super trash.
Yep.
Like, literally. All of them to me. All of them should be fucking held to the fire, in my opinion, since they were aiding. Like, they helped this discuss their operation function. So you guys are fucking trash just like him. I also, and I know I'm probably going to get thrown to the wolves, but this is Dice and you can kiss my ass. Some of y'all fucking parents need to be held to the fire as well after watching this docuseries. We're going to? Okay, we can say that
there on day 3, because that's when the parents were really like on
1,000. Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're gonna stick to day 1 then.
Oh.
What else happened to day 1? Because I'm trying to break it down by days in my head. Like what else was going on in the first 2 episodes then? Did they talked about the whole network of fuck niggas helping them to carry out this whole mission, and how basically like, did they talk about the sex tape, or was that
no? That was day 2.
That's day 2.
Let's get to day 2.
Okay.
So day 2, that's when they started to get into
more details.
Right.
Actually,
I think that's when like Sparkle came on, and she started to, you know, detail how she's the one that introduced R. Kelly. No, pause. Sparkle ass. I'm going to be checking that ass too. So listen, Sparkle says that her first time going to R. Kelly's house, she was sitting there and she kept hearing a knocking on the door.
Yes.
And that the wife peeked her
Andrea
head out the door and said, "Daddy, can I come and get something to eat now?" And he was like, "Come on." So my thing to Sparkle is,
and this bitch say it couldn't be me.
Right. You say it couldn't be me, but then you see this weird ass shit that's happening, and so you also heard about the Aaliyah thing, because at this point that had already happened.
Right. Years later.
So then you introduce him to your niece?
Right.
I don't know. Couldn't be me.
But in my opinion, her family's trash as well. But we'll say that for day 3.
No, we can say that for right now. I mean, they're trash because even in day 2, she was saying like that wasn't her daughter, so there's only so much she could do. And she
Right.
was saying when she would come to the studio, the niece
She will
would
already
be
be
there.
there. Yeah,
So
she was
that
just
was
like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like, you're supposed to be home. Like, you're only supposed to be here with me. So why is your 12-year-old? Because she was 12, right? Was she 12? I'm trying to
child.
remember. I know it was a super young age. It was like 12 or 13. But Sparkle's niece coming to the she had introduced her to R. Kelly. For those, because I'm talking to y'all like y'all haven't seen it. So for those of y'all who have not seen it, basically Sparkle's niece. And if you don't know who Sparkle is, like I don't know how old you guys are, but she was
You
she was
better be careful.
2 years ago. Didn't know you had male friends. That's Sparkle. Let me finish. But Sparkle basically, I guess her niece, was really a big fan of R. Kelly and she wanted to get into the music business as well. So she's like, you know what? I can like introduce you guys. Like, he can listen to like your music and maybe like help you, blah, blah, whatever. And I guess it was like, but you're a minor, so you're going to be with me. Anytime you're there, you're not going to be out of my sight. But some kind of Kales was summoning her, bringing her niece there. And Sparkle would come to the studio and she's just like, what the hell are you doing? And I'm just upset with the parents of Sparkle's niece because even if you fast forward to day 3, when you start talking about the trial and all that other stuff, I don't know what the reasons was because I'm not a part of the family. Maybe it was to protect the child, but basically they denied that it was her. And I'm talking about the sex tape, the little PSA. I might be all over the place for y'all who didn't watch it, but Sparkle's niece was actually the one who was being urinated on in the sex tape with R. Kelly.
Listen, we're giving y'all the cliff notes. You got to check
Yeah,
out the
we're
whole
definitely giving
thing.
the cliff notes. If you're expecting us to give you an accurate timeline on exactly how this docuseries was presented, then you got another thing coming. We're just giving you the cliff. We are giving you the cliff notes and our opinions on what we saw, and this is just our little rundown. So if you want super, super details and how the things played out in order, then you need to go to Lifetime. I'm sure that shit is on demand or online somewhere at this point.
Are you going to mention Lisa Van Allen?
Yeah, man, who the fuck is that? I missed that.
No,
was she on the docuseries?
Yeah, she was all up and through that day too. So she was the one.
Is that the light skinned one?
Yeah, she's the one who said that she was also on the video with the girl.
Yeah, and she was the one that originally, like, when she first started messing with Sparkle's niece, when they were having like the threesomes, and she was like, "This little girl looks young," but she thought she was like 16. But they come to find out they was talking, and she was only like 13 or 14 or something like that at the time.
Does that make it better? Okay,
no, it doesn't make it better in my book, but I think because at the time the girl Lisa was like 17, so I guess she didn't feel as bad if the girl was like closer in age to her.
I need that timeline. See, that's where I feel like things got sketchy because she said she was she met R. Kelly at 17, but the way she was talking to me, it felt like they had been fucking with each other for some years. That's
earlier,
just the way that it sounded. So
because she was on there across the timeline a lot.
Yeah. So
like,
I don't know if they necessarily, by the time the little girl was in there having threesomes with them, I was like, was she 17 then? Was she 20 or 21? You know what I'm saying?
Maybe she's trying to save herself because she like, I don't want to get lumped into this. And they're like, well, you was having sex with the minor too, so you going down. I
mean, because I kind of, listen, I wasn't really feeling the Lisa chick. It was just, I just really wasn't feeling her.
She had been there for a lot, like a whole lot. And I am not victim shaming. Oh. I'm definitely not, because she has been through a lot. But I feel like, how can I put this? If you watch the docuseries, like I said, there's certain people that pop up at certain timelines because the way that they put it together, it is in a timeline from like the beginning to like where we are that's happened so recently. So this Lisa chick was literally on almost every episode, which tells me that she has been there for a grip, like as far as enduring whatever she's been enduring with Kels. So she has seen a lot and participated in a lot. because she was even around when he was married to Drea.
Yeah. Yep.
So she had been there for
But the
Drea.
little girl
She's not
was
the one that's.
too.
Oh yeah, she
Listen.
definitely was, because that was around the Sparkle time. So was, and I'm trying to get my facts together. Was she? Did she say she was around, or was it somebody else that said she was around? Who was the one that said that they was on a tour bus? No, that was the other girl with the ponytail that said she was on the tour bus, the background singer.
Yeah.
And busted on the lead. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, so I'm mixing that
There
up.
was so many
So that
girls
definitely wasn't
who
her.
knew.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was so many girls, and like the different timelines and how they was jumping around. But yeah,
Day 2, they also talked about they talked about the sex tape. I know I did watch it back then because everybody was talking about it, so I wanted to see.
So let me tell you, I have never watched the sex tape.
None of them?
I never saw it. No, I never saw any of the sex tapes. Like, I heard about them back in the day, but like I said, the internet wasn't popping like that I knew of. I didn't have the joint on my phone. Maybe my phone was like stuck at the time. And at this point, I'm like, I don't want to Google it because then
that's child pornography.
Exactly. So I got a nice job that
right?
I would like to keep my job. So I'm not going to Google sex tapes that involve minors. Right. That's what I'm not going to do. So at this point, I didn't see it. I won't be able to see it in my lifetime because I won't be watching it. Right. But from what I hear of the people that have seen it, the quality isn't good, but it's very degrading in what's going on in it.
And also, I mean, it looks like R. Kelly. So there's that.
But they were saying in the daggone docuseries that it was people in the background. They was like, hey, yo, Kels. Hey, yo, come here for a second. So you have people in the background of this recording. And what's crazy is they actually showed the room, what she called it, the Colorado room or whatever.
That wood room, that's the one that I saw. I didn't watch, like, I don't know how long the tape was, but I saw a clip from the wood room.
But let me say something. The fact that the girl stole the sex tape and then gave it to someone of his friends to hold because she didn't want it on her. But are you crazy? And then end up returning it. Like,
well, duh.
Look, let me say something. You should have just destroyed it and threw it in the fucking trash.
I didn't really understand that part at all. Like, if you stole it, why wouldn't you just keep it, or
why wouldn't you keep it or destroy it? Because if the whole thing is she didn't want it to get out, she didn't want people to see it, that sort of thing. Because even some of the guys that work for him admitted that Kels will actually show them some of these tapes. Some tried to say, "Oh, we didn't see none with the young girls." I'm not buying that shit. You're just trying to save face right now. So I'm sure some of y'all definitely seen some of the joints with girls that was looking like they definitely was younger than 18. Like, you need to get the fuck out of here if you think that I'm gonna believe he just selected ones of the girls that look older. Like, get the fuck out of here, because y'all was the same ones that was bringing him the young joints. So I'm not buying it. But I don't know. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm gonna judge people, but I'm just thinking, and maybe she wasn't in her right mind, maybe she was, distressed, whatever. I haven't been put in that position, so I don't know how I would respond. But if your fear was that you didn't want this to get out or anyone to see it, and it was VHS tape, my G, like, it wasn't like a USB at this point, and this dog, destroy it. The fact that you kept it, but you didn't want him to find it on you, which I get it, because you're still staying, in this kind of semi-captive state, so you don't want it to be found on you. You give it to somebody that is a friend of his. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. And then it ends up getting leaked, and the person made copies and they had to pay for the copies to get back, and then they said they would give the rest of the money once the rest of the copies were returned, and blah 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 blah, but it still ended up getting leaked. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. This is my thing. What you didn't want to happen end up happening, so I feel like it just should have been destroyed. Like, that would have been the best way that you wouldn't have been out there, because apparently this sex tape was long as shit. Because what she was saying was she was in the beginning of the sex tape where it was all three of them. And then she was just like, all right, she left, but the girl stayed in the bathroom. And then apparently that's when, I guess, like, it was just R. Kelly and then a young girl, right?
She also said, like, as she kept watching it, because, for you young folks, when you had a VHS, you could stop and then you could like press the red button and play at the same time to record, and just pick up for whatever film you had left on the VHS, y'all.
Record over stuff.
Yeah. So the way she was making it seem like when she was watching the tape, it was like other scenes. So they maybe occurred on different days. Like,
got it. So it was just different parts, but on using the same tape, pretty much. Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of confusing to me, that whole scenario. How that played out.
So they talked about like Andrea or Drea, whatever, she had did her little. She talked about her abuse, whatever. I'm not feeling her though. So
I was just about to ask how you feel about Andrea and like her whole story and that thing.
Even before I saw some of the videos that have come out recently, I wasn't feeling her because, yes, I'm not taking away from her what she experienced with him. Like, don't get me wrong, but I didn't. When the background singer, her name was like Javante or something like that. When she would talk about what she saw and even talk about the things that she heard that occurred when she wasn't around, she was so emotional.
Yeah, she definitely was crying the whole joint.
She was crying the whole time. Whereas Drea was very emotional about what happened to her, but whenever, any other woman was mentioned, she would be like, I never saw that. And I kind of felt like...
You think she's covering up or hiding something?
I just feel like if I was married to someone for 1 year, 10, 20, and I was going through personal abuse by that person, and then I discovered that he also was abusing other people, sleeping with underage girls, doing this, that, and the third, in my home nonetheless, I feel like I would be more emotional, and I can't put that on.
When telling the story.
Yeah, I guess I can't put my emotions on other people because people react differently.
People handle stuff.
Right. I just felt like there wasn't a lot of reaction from her at all when it came to all the other stuff that happened.
I actually think that she's about to come out with something because she released on her social media, I want to say a couple of days ago, that basically she was kind of going in because people was like, wait a minute, TMZ just released this daggone video where you were singing Happy People, talking about, yes, that's my baby daddy, and people were like going for her neck and was like, bitch, wait a minute now. I thought you was a victim, but you up here celebrating this dude. And she kind of like went on this, not like a rant, but she kind of like responded to it where she was just like, I went through a lot of pain and, abuse that I endured. And, basically like, you're not going to judge me on how I speak and what I speak about what I went through. But I think she's going to release something. But I think she's coming out with a book. Like, if she's not coming out with a book, I think she's coming out with some type of, like, maybe a documentary or a show. Because even though she talked during the docuseries, she didn't really go into a lot of depth. She did, but she didn't. Like, even when she was like, I'm gonna, I'm not gonna speak on that at this time, blah, blah. So I think that she's going to release something else, just like the other girl, Asante, I think that's her name. She actually just recently released a book.
Well, and that other girl, Lisa, she said she was coming out with a book too. Honestly,
yeah, I think a lot of them are coming out with books, and like they've started different like organizations to help rally around abused women and stuff like that. But yeah, sticking on Andrea, I can't 100% say how I feel about her because she I don't know.
I'm trying to get through these nights before I give my opinion for real on the people. But my issue with her is the mentality that Black people have. When she was talking about him in that video where she was singing a song about, my baby daddy may be a fucked up person just like your drunk uncle, but we gonna still love him anyway. And it's like, no, actually, we need to stop because that drunk uncle is probably touching somebody goddamn kids. And you know what I'm saying? Like, we have to stop accepting dysfunction as just a normal part of
Exactly.
life. You could actually just be
Right.
like, no. So I mean, I'm not taking away from what happened to her. I just don't like that mentality. And you look crazy because
Yeah.
if you was, you just look crazy. I mean, that's just what it
Like
boils down to.
I get the whole, because people were talking about the whole the Stockholm
Yeah.
syndrome and that, and which it is definitely a real thing. Like that is a lot of the reason why a lot of the girls stayed, and why, even though they weren't shackled and, to someone from the outside was like they could always leave, and that they didn't. So I understand that. I understand why a lot of them were looked at crazy, like, well, why are y'all praising this dude and kissing him and hugging him and like praising this dude, and he's like beating your ass, peeing on you, videotaping you having sex with other people, telling you when to pee, when to eat, and all this other stuff. Like, why are you still, like basically loving up on him? So I understand the whole Stockholm syndrome thing, but it's like, I don't know. Like, I just feel like maybe there's some pieces to the puzzle, and maybe it's because Drea hasn't talked about everything, that it still doesn't sit right with me. I'm gonna just say it like that. It just doesn't sit right. Or like, yeah, I don't know. I got my third eye open.
Well, the end of day 2, because we're still on day 2, they had the trial. If you weren't alive, I don't know why you're listening to this podcast, but
Sheesh.
if you, if the trial, it occurred for whatever reason, he got off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they played the fucking sex tape at the trial, so who
Mm.
knows how that happened. I do know that most of the jury, or the jury, was a mixed jury. Ain't it funny how that happens? Because whenever they want to get a black man to go to jail, they'll have an all
Mm.
white jury, but they
Right.
wanted him to get off. And
Magically.
yeah, and at that point they talked about how he had put out all the songs that you niggas left the two-step to. So they
And you know what was weird to me? So the girl that met him at the trial, the young girl
that's
who
day
was hooking
3. That's day
school.
3. Okay, so
Oh,
now
that's
we
day
on
three.
day
Okay, I'm
3
sorry.
because
I'm sorry. I'm just skipping all over the place.
so
I
day
don't know why I thought
3
they talked about that day too. Okay.
day 3, the little bitches that he was meeting. No, I don't mean
Oh
to
my
call
gosh.
bitches.
Oh my gosh, Shay.
Listen, I call everybody bitch. Okay, the
You do.
little joints that he met at trial that looked like they were 14, just trying to wear makeup. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a woman. These girls look young in these
They
pictures.
look young. So it's no hiding that, oh my gosh, like they really look older than what they was. Like, no, some of these girls, when they were showing the pictures of them back at the time where they were being involved with him, they legit look like they was not older than 16 at all. Like, not even, like, barely. And especially the one who was coming, who said she was hooking school because her mom was a single mom, so she would hook school. Like, her mom, I guess she was working multiple jobs. I'm not sure, I don't remember that part, but I know she said her mom was like busy with work and she was supposed to be at school, and she was hooking school to come to these trials. And there are actual pictures of her at the trial where she was able to walk up to R. Kelly and tell her like that she's supporting him, and he's just like, thank you for your support. And then one of his little trollops that work for him just like, hey.
But that was like a year later. She said that was like after the trial was over. So that means that somebody went and did some motherfucking. That means
So
that
wait a minute, they reached out to her a year later. I thought that they got her number at the
is
trial.
that what
Like
happened?
somebody got her. I don't, maybe I'm
Maybe.
wrong,
I
but I
thought I
really
heard
thought
it
that
was
they said
after.
that at the trial, that somebody on his camp, like during the trial, like in his camp, like was like, all right, like give me your number. Like Kels didn't do it obviously because the cameras was
Right.
all in his face,
You could
but
be
like
right.
some that they got the number then.
You could be
But
right.
if it happened a year later, like good grief, how did that happen?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could be right. I could have sworn that it was like after some time after the trial ended, that's when he reached out to the girl. And this is why I
And I
felt
might
like
be
that,
wrong.
because I was
Loves,
like,
let correct me if you guys have seen it. Like, let us know, because I'm not sure if it was at the trial or afterwards, but maybe I'm sure it was late at night.
because
So
I felt like when I was watching it, I was like, Oh, so he nasty. Because that means he had that little girl on his mind for some
For all that
time.
time,
And he
right?
went investigating. And it was like the early 2000s. So, like, we had internet. And I'm sure we
Mm-hmm.
had some social media. But I don't
Probably
think it was
MySpace,
as
Black
easy.
Planet.
It couldn't have been as easy as it is now to
No, you're not tracking
research.
down somebody just by knowing what their face looked like.
So, day
And they didn't.
three. Oh, I'm sorry.
They no, no, you go. I was just saying there was no way for him to be tracking her down like with just how she looked, and she from Chicago. Like,
Yeah.
not at that age. So day 3.
Right. So day three is when we they talked about like the more current things that we've heard about R. Kelly, like the
Like in the
cults with
past
the
like 3 years or
girls
so. Yeah.
being locked up in the house. And I actually thought, because everything on day three was new for me for the most part. Like the first yeah.
Everything. Like, I remember seeing something like some months ago about this whole cult thing. And I was like, wait a minute. R. Kelly's still fucking with these young joints. Like, literally, that's what was going on in my head. I was like, I ain't heard shit about R. Kelly since he was pissing on joints. Like, he's still fucking with young joints and he got a whole ass cult. Like, what the fuck is going on? But I never heard details. But I also didn't go fishing for
That's what I was
information.
gonna say. I probably heard of something, but
I
I'm
wasn't
gonna
really
be
digging
honest.
into
I
it.
was just like, okay, and then I like went on about my life. Like, I personally just didn't care. This is Shay saying this, so call me trash. But I was just like, okay, well, whatever was on TV, I kept watching. Like, it just wasn't a thing for me.
Right.
So hearing it, especially seeing the parent that went and snatched her kid and got her kid about that fucking hotel.
Yes.
Then seeing them other parents that I wanted to punch in the face.
That was throwing the rocks at the window?
I wanted to punch them in their face.
So what was your frustration with them?
Everything that led them to the part where they're throwing they had so many. First of all, why are you letting listeners,
and this is and they were jostling, were they Jocelyn's or as what's her name?
I can't remember whose parents they are. What I do know is
Ezriel, I think. Ezriel. No, I think they were Jocelyn's parents because they're like
Joycelyn.
Joycelyn. Sorry, I'm saying Jocelyn.
Yeah, it was Joycelyn.
Joycelyn. Are they from Baltimore? They definitely got.
Yeah, I was just about to say that they sound like they from Baltimore, so that was the first thing because I'm like, okay, so y'all was up the road,
right?
But so y'all took y'all 17-year-old to the concert for the dad's birthday. I understand that part,
right.
But then R. Kelly pulls your daughter up on stage and you let that rock.
But not only did you let that rock, they swooped out the back door with your joint, talking about, oh, we was just doing it because she said she could sing, so we was doing like an impromptu like little audition. No. They was sitting around waiting for her daughter for hours, like looking, and like
it's not happening.
And even after that, you still let her work with him.
Like, there's no way that my teenage daughter is going up on stage with R. Kelly.
And everyone knows how his shows are, my G. This ain't no like, oh, like, hey, welcome on stage. Like, do you sing? Here. Like, this isn't like PG-13 Nick Cannon. Like, hey, here's the microphone. Let me hear you sing. Like, everybody has seen clips and people have been, those who have been to his concert and seen it online, how his concerts go.
Like,
so
what
I'm
would
sure
have even been the appropriate song for a 17-year-old to be up on stage?
None. Not near another. Like, Happy People?
But why would you even bring somebody? Why would you wouldn't only bring one person up for Happy People? You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Fuck out of here. So that pissed me off. Then just the I need her to go on tour with me so I can groom her, but I'm gonna get somebody from the label to watch her. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
But let me say, that pissed me off because they had the presence of mind to be like, no, like, my daughter is not going on tour with no grown ass man by herself. Like, it's not happening. And they're like, okay, well, how about we get somebody from the label that's a female to kind of be a chaperone? How about if you wanted her to go that bad, you take off and you go with her? How about that? And I'm not judging, but I'm judging. That's what I'm saying. I'm not judging, but I'm judging. Like, why didn't you go? Why are you putting the trust of your young teenage daughter in some quote unquote exec? And how you know this nigga not lying? Because at this point in time, there have already been allegations and you already have a feeling in the back of your head enough to be like, nah, it need to be a female or somebody else there watching my kid. She don't need to go. You need to groom him when he comes off a tour where you can be there to supervise, or you need to go. That's that, in my opinion. And this is Dice. This is Dice's opinion.
Fuck them parents. I'm judging them. I mean, they Shay. So I
Yeah.
ain't even giving them a bone because I just feel like they were literally saying, they were literally going through the story, and I'm like, red light, warning sign, what the fuck, danger, danger, danger. And they just kept talking, and I'm like, this is what happens when people only see fame and only see money.
I was just about to say that. I feel like it is so blinding and it's so sad what money and potential fame and influence can cloud judgment, because I know some of these parents are probably exemplary parents in any other instance, but the fact that now you have a quote unquote connect, and R. Kelly, which at the time he is an amazing songwriter, he probably has the most connections in the music business, he's been writing amazing songs, and he's probably helped other artists, so you're just like, yes, like this is our meal ticket. My baby can sing, like just like the little girl that he met at the mall, like, oh my gosh, like you got a bomb voice, like yes, like I'm going to groom you, you're going to get this record deal, and this is your meal ticket. You still cannot lose sight that your first job is a parent. And this is not Dice capping, caping, whatever for R. Kelly, because he is still a sick, manipulative, sick, disgusting individual. So this is not me taking away anything from what him or his camp has done, because they are disgusting, and everything that they've done, they need to pay for. But I'm not going to take away responsibility of parents who felt like this is our shot. And granted, they might have been poor, they might have been low on money, so I get it. I understand why, like, okay, dollar signs, but the welfare of your child needs to come before come up, and I'm just gonna leave it at
that. Also on day 3, I want to say, what was her name, Miss Kramer.
Which one was that?
Was that her name? She was what was her daughter's name? The one that got her daughter out the hotel. What's her name? Michelle? I felt like it was Michelle Kramer.
The one who was like, you gonna remember my name.
Yeah.
That one?
And we've already forgotten it.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I'm not saying that to be shady. I'm just saying that because I really did forget it.
I know I can see her face and everything with the ponytail. Yeah. She wasn't here for none of that shit.
I cried when I had, like, everybody had been talking about how they cried, and I was just like, I mean, I didn't cry, but like, you know,
it was really touching, because she was just like, you could tell how badly she was trying to convince her daughter to be like, just like, but I don't know.
When she got to that door and the daughter opened it, and you could see her daughter was like shocked and didn't know what to do, and the
she
mom
was kind of like, she was like, it's people in here,
right?
It's people in here,
and the mom was just like, I don't care, you're not gonna do this to me, like, come, you know what I'm saying?
Like I've came this far, like come with me. I
felt that shit in my soul, because
she was pleading with her daughter.
Like, this is like Taken, except it's some real nigga
this
shit.
Real life.
Like, it was just powerful, because it's just like, you know, when you like love, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that the other parents don't love their kids,
but the love that you have for your kid, when you are willing to fight and lose everything. This bitch was like, I will go to jail. Like, after they told her that they called the cops, and the fact that she was walking back in there, she's like, nah, I ain't coming this far to know exactly where the fuck my daughter is, and not go home with my daughter. Like, nah. No, it's not happening. Like, that was definitely touching. But I think that they mentioned, like, at the end, that after she came home, the girl went back.
But then she got her.
But she came back. Yeah. So I know that had to be like a gut wrenching feeling when she went back again. But like,
she came back 3 days later.
That's good.
And they kept saying throughout the program that it takes victims like 7 good times before they will, you know what I'm saying,
leave for good.
I gotta point out the stupidity that I saw in day 3. And again, this is Shay. If y'all want to judge someone, it's me. Them 30-plus-year-old women.
Look, ma'am.
That gave up their homes and their jobs.
Bruh.
To go and be someone's sex slave.
Look, at this point, You are not
in the 2010s.
That's what I'm saying. So all the way. She was like a DJ in Dallas. The one, what was her name?
That's
Kitty.
Kitty.
She left her job, moved to Chicago to be with this Negro. Talking about like the love was mutual. It just wasn't on my part. Like he loved me too.
Oh,
like in that year, everybody knew, like the pissing thing, like Aaliyah, like the rumors, all of this stuff was going on. So the fact that you're just like, I'm a grown ass woman, and like I can talk shit about you because you're not a little kid where your maturity level and where you can be manipulated by an adult and that sort of thing. Ma'am.
And so
I need you to do better.
If these grown ass women that had their own, if these grown ass women could be manipulated, if that's what you want to call it, or be
brainwashed or hoodwinked, whatever,
or just be like, oh, it's money, whatever the case may be. Imagine what someone half their fucking age thinks.
I have seen so many posts that have angered me because I don't know if we're moving on to the fuck shit that we're seeing.
I was about to say, can we get to that? Because I mean, at
before
this
we get
there,
one more thing that was on day 3 of ignorance that I did not know about. This fucking song, I admit, bitch, I had not known anything about this.
What?
The song, I admit.
Oh, I didn't know that either. That 19-minute song. I had never heard of that.
Look, this man addresses the sexual allegations, and I wrote down some of the lyrics, so y'all just listen, listeners, because I'm sure y'all don't know this damn song either. I'm not gonna go deep into it, pause, but I'm gonna let you know some of these lyrics that jumped out to me that they was talking about on this daggone docuseries. In my best R. Kelly voice, psych, I'm not singing, but I will read it to you. He said, I admit I did it. I admit I fuck with all the ladies. That's both older and young ladies. But tell me how they call it pedophile. Because of that shit, that's crazy. What's the definition of a cult? What's the definition of a sex slave? Bruh, who is these niggas' advisor? Like, who the fuck? Who is on his camp like, yes, that shit is hot, nigga, keep going. Like, address these haters. I didn't listen to the whole song because, like, I don't want to waste 19 minutes of my life. I need them.
Bam.
So, look, the fact that he is saying, it was 19. No, I'm not giving no more lyrics. But those sentences alone, my G.
Listen, they showed the clip when he was with the dude from MTV, I think, or BET.
Torre.
When the dude was like, I mean, so do you like teenage girls?
Oh, the other guy.
And you would think that his immediate answer would be no. That man looked confused. He legitimately looked confused, and they said, I mean, when you say a teenager, what age are we talking about?
Bitch, like, what? All the ages that have teen at the end. What the fuck are you talking about?
I feel like he couldn't even I feel like he wanted to be like, nigga.
But even the man was like, the first question is the easiest question. We gonna get this out the way. And he was struggling with that shit. Like, so when you say teenager, what age are you talking about? My G.
Oh, I forgot all about this. Oh, one thing I didn't know, because we about to get to the fuck shit, y'all. But one thing I did not know that he had all these secret settlements to all these unnamed women.
But look.
That's another thing that we have to point out. These are just a few women that are coming forward and that we know about.
Right.
Excuse me. There were like 5 women before the sex tape came out that sued him.
But let me tell you something. And I'm going back some episodes. Let me tell you something. What you not going to do is abuse me and then give my mama $1,000.
Shit,
and have her sign,
$100.
And have me sign a non-disclosure agreement and $1,000 and be like, nah. One of the girls almost died. She caught mono from him.
Had $1,000.
Bro, almost died. Like literally fighting for her life because of some nasty mono that he didn't gave her, and he got the nerve to, and this is once again I step in and be like, parents, you need to do better, because I would have been like, fuck your NDA and fuck this $1,000.
Right.
You almost killed my girl. You was abusing her. So what the fuck I'm about to do is take your punk ass to court. That's what the fuck I would do. But instead, you signed this NDA and agreed not to talk or say anything about it, and then took $1,000. So what you're saying is that your daughter's well-being is worth a G, and all the stuff that she went through is worth $1,000. And the Aaliyah thing, $100 is laughable.
Like, I mean, like my daughter got $500 for Christmas.
So like,
she's
really,
11, so
what is $100 in my G?
Yeah. Oh, and the one girl on day 3, she came out and said she had herpes. You know, don't know for sure if don't know true, false.
Right. Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly, but. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he has something. He's out here laying it low.
So, and spreading it wide. He is burning. He is a whole wild forest fire, like burning it down. And I didn't know about the little confidential interview or conversation that he had with Wendy Williams. When Wendy Williams was on there talking about, they had some little conversation, which, like, you can take that with a grain of salt.
Share with nobody,
because, like, she was like, I guess they agreed that she couldn't say anything. But in my mind, like, why'd you even bring it up then? The only thing she said is that he was like, he likes petite women. Tuck out of here, Wendy. Like, if you're not spilling all the tea, then keep your lip to yourself. Like,
right.
But yeah, I had to put that out there before we get on the fuck shit that we're saying. Now, from the people. And so this is, now that we've kind of done our little cliff notes of what actually happened, what they cover on the docuseries, now we want to talk about y'all fuck niggas on social media and how your response is to this damn documentary. Because, y'all thought it was bad when the Bill Cosby shit came out. Y'all are coming out in droves right now. And I'm just like, what the entire fuck? Like,
after the very first night, I've known him since I was 17.
Mm-hmm.
After the first night, he goes on Facebook. The next day, he goes, well, I listened to R. Kelly all the way to work. I wanted to step in the name of love at every stoplight. And then when the commentators, whatever the fuck you want to call them, started like being like, are you fucking kidding me? He's like, I mean, he comes back. He's like, I mean, y'all, I got people unfriending me, not fucking with me, all because I said I listen to some music. I mean, I do music. I talk about music every day. It's like, sir, no. You knew exactly what the fuck you were doing when you put that status up there. Like, you...
trolling.
It's definitely trolling. I don't know. That was just day 1, and I didn't realize it was going to get as bad as it got by day 3. But you niggas never
you proved
cease to amaze me.
You have proven us wrong.
Y'all are really trash. Like, y'all really suck. Like, y'all mean the mentality is just. It's frustrating. I honestly feel like if I wasn't already married, that I would not even be with a black man, because I think that's how disgusted I am at just like black men as a whole.
Let me say something. I have seen memes where people have compared R. Kelly to Hugh Hefner and said, what the fuck is the difference?
Oh, while we're there, because your girl got notes and things saved today.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So, one of the common themes that I saw, whenever we're calling a black man out on his shit,
mm-hmm.
Of course you'll hear people say, y'all didn't say nothing about this person. Y'all need to give these people the same energy. So here's the thing, people. Black people follow black topics, typically, and white people follow white topics, typically. Segregation is kind of still a thing in certain areas. So just because y'all niggas haven't heard about the many documentaries that are out there, and I'm just going to name a few just so y'all are aware, doesn't mean that they're not happening.
Mm-hmm.
The Me Too movement started off by black people and was literally taken over by the white people. So you can't say that white women aren't calling out the white men that are doing the same shit.
Right.
It's just that us black women are concerned about R. Kelly. We're not stepping in the name of love to Elvis. We don't give a fuck. That's for the white people to handle. I don't give a fuck about Elvis.
That's their issue to tackle.
It's not nasty, but that's just, we can't fucking save everybody.
Right.
It's like, anyhow. So, because I want you to move on with your point, but Harvey Weinstein Weinstein, whatever his name is.
Mm-hmm.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 specials out on him. Just a few. There's Australia 60 Minutes, Hollywood working with Weinstein. There's an ABC Nightline documentary on him. Those are just a few.
Wow.
Roman Polanski, he has an HBO special called Wanted and Desired. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 specials on the Catholic Church. One called Deliver Us from Evil. BBC Sex Crimes in the Vatican. There is a special on Woody Allen, Mia Farrow, An Intimate Portrait. And there are 2 documentaries about the U.S. military. One is called Sex in the Army, U.S. military has a rape problem. And the other one is called Invisible War, Rape, and Cover Up in the U.S. military.
So wait a minute, people was really comparing this or saying, why are we not talking about rape in the military when R. Kelly was being brought up?
They were talking about why we're not bringing up all these other topics. Because for whatever reason, it's a Black woman's job to champion for all of the things that are happening in all of the world. And
but a lot of those some of them are similar, but a lot of these are apples and oranges. Like one is like literally a man abusing, manipulating, and being a pedophile. Like, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
If anyone wants a full list of the documentaries that I have, because I just gave you a few, send us an email at thechattypatties@yahoo.com. And I'll make sure that I get you that list, because I want to forever dead the fucking dumbass narrative that white people are not being called to task. They are. They're just being called to task by their white counterparts. The Black people are handling the Black people, though. So let's move along.
So these memes and these posts have been beyond ignorant. Like I saw one, like I said, where they were basically comparing him to Hugh Hefner and was like, R. Kelly's 49 and his girlfriend is 19 and y'all call him a rapist and a bad man. But Hugh Hefner is 90 and been fucking girls that's 18 since the 60s and that's folks nasty. Call him the man. Let me say
that's
something.
Fucking gross.
Either way, it's gross as fuck.
It's really gross.
But what I'm saying is, I feel like, and I've called it an onion earlier, this is not just about inappropriate behavior with the age group of people that he's messing with. It is the abuse that's going on with this. It is the system behind him that is helping him to mask this and to carry out this fucking filth. That is what is enraging me personally. So the fact that you can bring out everybody else, they talking about this person, that person is messing with young people, it does not make it right. So because we're focusing on R. Kelly right now, doesn't mean that the other people that is doing this fuck shit are exempt. But right now, this weekend, we are focusing on Kels.
I mean, the deflection is typical when things occur in this community. I mean, we talked about this a few weeks ago when we were talking about something else. Like anytime somebody is calling, I want to say it was with the Offset shit. When we were talking about that, it was like, instead of addressing Offset being the ain't shit nigga, it was women never apologize. What the fuck does that have to do with any fucking thing? Like, what are we talking about?
What is the topic right now? You guys are off topic.
One of the things that I continue to see is, y'all, don't let this distract you from the fact that the government is partially shut down.
I seen that too. What
are y'all fucking dumb? Can y'all not concentrate on more than one thing? Like, y'all can't multitask? I'm sorry. I could follow that and still be enraged with R. Kelly. I just didn't realize that I could only be.
But if you realize and remember the trends, this is always like people's comeback. Oh, don't let this take away from the fact, or this is just smoke and mirrors, because what we should be focusing on is whoop-de-whoop. Look, I don't know what level of education that you guys have that you can only think about one idea or one thing at the same time. But I'm sorry, I can think about a million things at the same time and have different emotions in a couple of weeks. So the fact that I can only focus on my anger and my energy on one thing, like, I'm sorry, my brain is a little bit bigger than that. I can definitely be mad or feel and have opinions on multiple things at the same time. Like, fuck out of here.
That's a fucking dumb thing for y'all to say, and I want y'all to stop saying it, because for some of y'all, I like y'all, or did, and I want y'all to do better in life. Like, we can do more than one thing. So yeah. What's some other trash shit you saw?
I saw a lot of victim blaming. I saw a lot of Well, them little girls just fast. Like, I mean, when y'all
I have
was in
something for
high
that too.
school, like it was a
That's the
bunch of
one.
old niggas coming at y'all high school, and y'all was messing with the old drug dealers in the neighborhood. Granted, yes, when I was in high school, there definitely was men, because y'all definitely was men that was 18 and above that was hanging out in the high school. Does that make them not nasty? No. So I'm not sitting up here campaigning and be like, oh no, that was different, babe. It's still nasty. So the fact that y'all sitting up here blaming the girls, talking about, well, I mean, why the fuck would, I mean, if you like 14, 15, like why the fuck would you go with them? Like, why you messing with a grown man? I am not going to tell you, and I shouldn't have to tell you, that the maturity level of a 14-year-old is not the same of a 30-year-old man.
Can I just give an example of one of the posts that I saw this past week?
Yeah.
So y'all acting like all the cute girls, mind you, all the cute girls in high school ain't talked to the older drug dealers. Emojis. Not giving Kels a pass, but let's be real. He ain't make them girls do nothing they ain't want to do. They could have left at any time. Where were their parents at? Enjoying the fruits of their labor. And then this person went on a few days later, because he was on a roll.
Oh
He
my
went on a
gosh.
few days later to be like, who did he use as an example? Was it Cassie? It was like a celebrity. He was like, I'm sure if Cassie was no, what did he say? I could have bagged Cassie, but she probably would have been out there with them drug dealing niggas. So this is why this narrative was pissing me off, because y'all motherfuckers don't care that the girls in high school were talking to older dudes because y'all give a fuck about the safety of the girls. Y'all just mad that y'all couldn't fuck them because they was out there fucking older people. So y'all still trash, even while y'all trying to point out that the girls are trash.
Yeah.
Like, really, you're making yourself look like a fucking idiot. Like, y'all really just look dumb. I hate y'all. I'm so angry, fam. Like, one of my oldest friends, even, I had to go on her status and be like, what the fuck is, what are you doing? Because the very first thing she says is, for the 15-year-old, she gets a pass, but that 17-year-old, she knew what she was doing. So I asked, I was like, well, because she had said something about,
do you know how immature I was at 17? Like,
we
what the
sat
fuck?
on this podcast and said we didn't even feel like we were adults until we were 27, 30, whatever the fuck.
Exactly.
So I was like, well, where's the line? Tell me when does common sense kick in? Because I know people that are my age and older that are still in abusive relationships. They're still in this, still in that. So common sense ain't that common.
I've seen a post about that too.
How can you say a 15-year-old gets a pass, but a 17-year-old doesn't? And I brought up Aaliyah. I was like, I feel like nobody's bashing Aaliyah because we know Aaliyah. She was a star and we like her. But y'all are bashing all the other women, and it's easy to because you don't know them.
You don't have no connection musically or anything like that. So it's easy to just discredit them.
Like, you're 17, I mean, she was only a year older. And that goes back to the whole Hugh Hefner example. 18 is literally just an age. Like, there is no difference to me between 17 and 18. If Hugh Hefner is fucking an 18-year-old, is she legal? Sure. Is that fucking disgusting? Hell yeah.
Sure.
Like, at 18, I feel like you're at the dumbest that you could be.
Because you think you know everything.
Because
and nobody can tell you
and
nothing.
Can't nobody tell you nothing.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking to myself, and because I'm an honest ass bitch. This is Shay. My first boyfriend was 5 years older than me. So I was 16, he was 21. Now, and grown up me, that's nasty.
And you having a daughter, you will be ready to shoot somebody.
Yeah. Like, that's gross. I'm looking at it like, at 21, all I wanted to do was drink. What the fuck would I have done with a 16-year-old boy? He probably don't even have his license. Like, we can't do shit together.
No, I think it was nasty that I was in junior high school, and so what's that? Like, what, 13? And 13, had a boyfriend 14. In high school. So that's 13 and like 15, 16. And I feel like that's gross. As an adult thinking back, I'm just like, bro, what was somebody in high school want to mess with somebody in junior high school for? Like, on some real shit. And I wasn't even smashing it. So I'm really like, what was your aim here? Like,
So my thing is at 16, I like the things that people were saying in their statuses were partially true. At 16, I wasn't trying to fuck with nobody in high school. I was just like, y'all whack. And I mean, y'all proven that to be true, that y'all are still whack. So I'm glad I
And
didn't fuck none of
girls
y'all.
mentally mature faster than boys anyway. So in their mind, they're like, oh, these little
They
boys my
think,
ages, like, you're
right.
so stupid and immature. So they think, okay, well, let me get me a college age man or a grown man to mess with. But
And so that's what I'm saying. There's two parts to what I'm trying to say. Number one is at 16, I'm not gonna front. I was definitely looking at the boys in my high school like, ew, like who's doing this?
now Nicki Minaj voice ill.
Ew. So I did have I thought I had a boyfriend. This nigga was trash, like in every way possible. I remember when I was like 25, he was 30. He had sent me like a friend request on Facebook. So, we were friends or whatever, and I could, see his pictures and stuff. And he had a new baby.
Mm-hmm.
Now I had knew his first baby mama, so I'm like, well, this baby don't look like the other babies. So I started doing some investigating. His new baby mama was 18, and I think it clicked for me then at 25. And I remember talking to one of my girlfriends who knew him, like, oh, he's really nasty. Like, he really
likes them
just
young.
likes. And then when I thought about his background, and this goes back to like R. Kelly not being able to read or write, that boyfriend quotation, that nigga been in and out of jail since I met him. So like,
he ain't finished school.
right. So when I think about just like when you don't have your shit together, when you're not as intelligent, you can't go to no 30-year-old woman, with nothing to fucking offer.
So
But
where you gonna go? These little
but you
young
can
joints.
go to an 18-year-old and pretend like you a grown man and you on your shit. Because at
And
18,
go ahead.
I'm just saying, at 18, what the fuck you got going on?
But then you add onto that millions of dollars,
I wasn't going to
fame,
even I
and
wasn't even getting it.
influence. And they gonna be like, bitch, R. Kelly was at my high school and a nigga picked me. Like, what the fuck? Like, yes, fuck your little 15-year-old ass. I'm about to go with R. Kelly. He's a grown man. He got millions. What you gonna do with that? Like,
well, then my second part though was that part there though. We're talking about people, not to say that the 21-year-old dude I was talking to gets a pass, because he fucking doesn't.
oh, hell
that
no.
shit is nasty.
For sure.
Aaliyah was 15 and R. Kelly was 27. That is a 12-year fucking difference, fam. Y'all are talking about the girls at your high school that used to have a drug dealer boyfriend. He's probably like 19, 20, 21. Not to say
not
that
excusing it.
Not excusing it.
But that gap, bro.
That gap, you could literally, if I'm 20, if you could start dating somebody in high school, but if that person is older than you, then yeah, if I'm a freshman and you're a senior, we are at least 3 years apart, maybe 4. So,
and in some states, that's illegal.
Exactly. So if you've graduated, but we're still dating, I'm 16 and you're 20.
Yeah.
So, and I know a lot of the girls that was fucking with the drug dealers, and the drug dealers weren't fucking kingpins that were 30 years old. They were the little nickel and dime niggas that was like 19.
Right.
Calm down, people. Like, calm down. You guys are making it seem like these bitches were fucking R. Kelly themselves, and they really fucking certainly weren't. Like, chill out.
All right.
And then again, like I said earlier, if bitches were still getting bamboozled, or maybe they weren't even getting bamboozled and they just were looking at it as money and not thinking about the consequences that came along with it at 30, what the fuck do you expect
a 14-year-old to do?
Teenager. I just don't understand, like, why y'all putting so much onus on the girls.
I just know when I was 14, just my whole teenage period, my goal was to get the fuck out of my parents' house. I'm tired of rules. I'm tired. I want my own money. Like, yes. I want to do this. Like, especially like if I had a talent, bitch. Like, if I could have sang. And then right. I'm just trying to get this music career popping, get the fuck out of my parents' house. I'm trying to be lit. I need to hurry up and get out of high school. Like, this is not the fucking game right here. Like, I'm not here for this shit. And then some millionaire comes up and it's like, look, I'm about to take your career to the next level. Come with me. I'm going to help you with your voice. Whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. I would be like, bitch, okay, oh, all right, well then let's roll. And then even a step further, when shit starts getting nasty, they don't have the, and I'm not calling anybody dumb. I'm not calling young girls dumb, but like scientifically, they don't have the maturity and the problem solving skills, to put it nicely, that a grown ass woman would have. So the fact that you would put this 14, 13, whatever year old in a position to be
Even a
like,
17-year-old.
look, and be like, look, take off them clothes, model for me, walk back and forth. And even if your mind, you just like, yo, this don't feel right. In your mind, this is a grown ass man with influence that could change your life. You're like, fuck it, I really don't want to do this shit, but like, it's fuck it. Like, and then
if you've been following the Me Too movement, they literally, adults are saying the same thing.
Yep.
That they were put in these positions where they felt like they couldn't say no, or they couldn't report it after it had
so
happened.
if these are adults
because
saying
these
it,
men had influence. Like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all?
yo, people
Honestly.
wild as hell. I've seen people that was just like, why the fuck is we talking about this shit? This shit has been going on since the 90s. Next. Bitch,
No,
bitch, what?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Bitch, what?
Dice and I are not the same age.
Mm.
We're not that, I don't make it seem like it's a huge difference,
but it's a difference. Right.
So when the Aaliyah shit happened, I was 8.
You was 8, bitch. No, you wasn't. Wait.
What was that? 94, 95? I'm 31 now.
Did it happen in 94, 95? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the funny thing I kept seeing is like, y'all bitches care now, but where was y'all back then? Bitch, in elementary school, I was eating fucking Oreos and Cheerios and shit. What the fuck are you talking about?
Ma'am, I was learning to read and write. I mean, I was older, like, but yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, so when people were saying that, I was just like, we're the fucking same age. So we were both on the playground together. Like,
right.
What did you want me about? To do, March?
Did you want me to be an advocate? And like, I wasn't even in double digits. So what do you
even
mean?
When the sex tape came out, I was like in high school. So again, what the fuck did you want me to do? That part really baffled me, because I'm like, well, we're the same age, give or take 2 to 3, 2 to 5, whatever the fuck. Like, we were kids ourselves. So yes, we can be enraged now that we're older. Our brains are fully developed, and we're actually learning about the full.
A lot of shit has been brought to light. Everybody's not going to sit up here and act like everything in them 6 damn hours that they knew everything that was going on. Fuck y'all lying. It's a lot of shit that was brought to light, or maybe if you had some type of inkling, I'm sure you didn't know the details of the fucking filth that this nigga was doing. I'm sure you didn't know everything that was going on. So I feel like when you know better, you do better. So maybe back then we didn't know it, or like as a society we was just like brushing it under the rug because we trying to move your body like a snake, ma. We was trying to do that. So we didn't know what the fuck was going on. We just knew, all right, he didn't mess with some young joints and he didn't piss on a bitch. Like, what the fuck is going on with Kills? But to see this documentary and see how deep it was and how many people was involved and how trifling it was, I feel like this is something that should have been brought to light. I'm sorry. So to be like, okay, that shit was so long. Like, why the fuck are we talking about this shit? Like, all you doing is making it more popular. No, what you're doing is you're having victims come forward and give them a platform to tell their fucking story, and hopefully shit will change. There were a lot of celebrities that were tweeting and posting, talking about like how outraged they were and all this other stuff. Because keep it 100% funky. All these people that's like, fuck that, R. Kelly's canceled, I'm not listening to his music. Well, let's go deeper into that. Because if you think you're just not going to listen to R. Kelly's music, R. Kelly's getting checks across the fucking board. He's probably
I'm not giving up the songs that he wrote for other people.
That's what I was just about to say. He has written songs, very popular songs, for plenty of fucking artists. So if you're going to cancel out his catalog, you need to start scrolling through your damn playlist for about a week or so and start deleting some shit.
I'm canceling, and here's my thing. JT didn't watch it with me, but I was telling him all this stuff or whatever. And I told him, I was like, I really didn't listen. I haven't been listening to R. Kelly like that for years now. And I was just like, after this, I can like fully let this go. Like, I'm not listening to nothing R. Kelly, nothing.
All right.
So he said that when he went to work, they were talking about it at work, and he was saying like, oh yeah, my wife, she watched it too. She said she's not listening to it anymore, and that some bitch that I don't know at his job was like, she ain't canceling him for real. She gonna be listening to him and da 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 da. First of all, bitch, I don't know you.
Oop, you're
There's that.
overstepping, bitch.
Definitely. But I told him when he told me that, I was like, listen, first of all, if I canceled Kanye West over politics,
what the fuck you think you gonna do over this nasty nigga?
I'm looking at this man and these women talk about how he was molesting people that are 1 year older than my own daughter. If you think that I'm about to listen to these songs after these people said he lives these things out with these little girls and then writes about them or sings about them, you got another motherfucking thing coming. I like, there's no way that I can hear Age Ain't Nothing But a Number by Aaliyah that he wrote without thinking that he probably was fucking her in the studio on one of them beds.
But like, he wrote Michael Jackson's You Are Not Alone.
I never liked that song. But when I heard that, I was like,
but
okay.
The fact that he wrote that song after one of the girls that he had captive had a miscarriage.
Yes.
And wrote that song for Michael Jackson to sing. I cannot even listen to that song alone because now I'm listening to the lyrics thinking about a girl that was being abused who had a daggone miscarriage. Like, it is crazy to think about some of the songs in the context. And granted, this is not the only artist, because you go back in history and think of some of these nasty ass niggas in the fucking entertainment business, whether it's like singers, songwriters, or whatever. And you think about what was going on, and you just are, okay, so you definitely was singing about the little 10-year-old you was messing with. So it just definitely makes songs like, but all these people that's like super, like, I'm boycotting, like, fuck Kales, he's canceled across the board. I just want you guys to know what canceling across the board means, because he has written numerous fucking songs for everybody. So,
and that's the thing. I can't do all that research. However, for his personal, what he is yodeling out to the masses,
the fuck up out of here.
That's canceled for me. Even the step to the left, side to side.
And that used to be my jam in college.
I can't do it. Like, in my mind, I'm never going to be able to hear some of those, like, sexual songs without thinking, like,
so the whole 12 play, my G. The whole 12 play.
Well, my parents used to fuck to that album, so I wasn't really, like, listening. And I know because loudness. So, I really wasn't like too geek. There are a lot of songs from that album I like, but even with that album, I used to be like, ew, my mom, gross.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but no, I'm
even what's her name? Omarion posted on social media talking about, now that I know better, I'll do better. So after the Millennium Tour, we'll be taking that from all those songs from our set list, because I think he wrote Bump 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 and Girlfriend and a couple others, I think. But
I'm gonna give Omarion a pass because they already signed the contract. So honestly,
that's two of their B2K's biggest songs, and they're just like, "Ooh, this joint just came out." So yeah, after this though, we're gonna cancel.
Right?
He's like, I ain't trying to lose no
coins. I'm not giving a pass to though.
Who now?
Damon Dash.
What happened? What happened?
So he did a little interview, and everybody was, "Oh, I'm so glad he finally came out and spoke." So he came out and was basically saying that, Aaliyah could never, when he watched the docuseries, it reminded him of how Aaliyah could never speak about what actually happened between her and R. Kelly. The only thing she would say is R. Kelly is a bad man, and that would be the end of it. And when I heard that part, I was like, oh my God, Aaliyah, because I love her.
Yeah.
But then he was like, that's why when Buddy did those albums with him, I kind of had to look at him sideways. And that's probably why things are the way they are now, because, we more name and this, that, and the third. He's talking about Jay-Z.
Yeah.
So here's my thing. If I could believe that and I could accept that. However, Dame Dash fat ass was dancing in the Fiesta fucking video with R. Kelly. So shut the fuck up. You just don't like Jay-Z because Jay-Z left you. And that's why that's why I'm not giving him a pass, because you're using this platform basically to throw shots at Jay-Z because y'all have some kind of fucking beef. If you really felt that strongly about what R. Kelly did to Aaliyah, then you wouldn't have been in there with the motherfucking bottles of Chris or whatever the fuck that dumb shit was with your fat goofy ass. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. And people, oh, he finally spoke up. And that's another thing. Aaliyah has been dead since 2001. Why the fuck are you just now saying something if it really was weighing on your heart like that?
When this is released.
Up. You guys are goofballs in real life.
People look for stuff to find a reason to like, oh, like, let me campaign for that. Like, and this is why this is an issue of people covering up, not speaking, not saying stuff. Like, people have been sitting on information. I'm not talking about the victims here. I'm talking about people in the industry, people that were around him have been sitting on information. And now all of a sudden, now that it's a thing, like, you know, where there's like movements like the Mute R. Kelly and the Time's Up thing. Now, like, oh yeah, because I remember back in 92, blah, blah. I'm just like, whoa. Now you're not, you know, afraid to speak up or say what you got to say. It's just trash, taking out the trash. Like, a lot of the things that I see, it's just like, so many people need to be held responsible for this. R. Kelly, you're the number one culprit and you need to go the fuck down. Like, you need to get the fuck up out of here. Like, that's the number one. He needs to get the fuck up out of here. And then them layers of that onion, all y'all need to get the fuck up out of here too. All the people in your camp that was close to
R.
you,
Kelly,
all
the
of y'all.
camp, and then parents. I don't have a problem with saying the parents. Most of them,
I don't think they need to go to jail, but they need to be understand.
Maybe not jail, but
they need to understand their part in this. Like, they are not, and I'm not saying all the parents, but some of them stories of some of them parents, they need to be held accountable because some of their actions was neglectful as fuck.
And it just lets you know how money
and potential fame will have you putting your kids in harm's way, especially the ones that was later on where they knew what the dilly was. So I know I seen a little meme. It was like, y'all 30 plus and getting played and manipulated by men, but you expect a 14 or 15-year-old to do better.
And them niggas work at the grocery store and Popeyes. So again, R. Kelly had money. What the fuck did you think
was going to happen? And then I seen another joint. It was like, ain't no teenage girl fast enough to catch a grown man that ain't attracted to children. And I said a word. A fucking word.
You know, the other thing, I had put this on my Facebook page the other day because I saw a lot of people saying that, you know, they're outraged with R. Kelly, but they just cannot let go of the Chocolate Factory. And, you know, that is amazing to me because, like, I shared a meme that said, like, it was really convenient for y'all to let go of Frank Ocean.
Oh, I saw that.
You know what I mean? When Frank Ocean came out as gay or bi, whatever he is, a lot of niggas who fucked with Frank Ocean's mixtapes, like before he dropped Channel Orange, y'all used to fuck with him. I remember that shit. Mm-hmm. But when he came out as gay or bi, y'all didn't fuck with it. Same with, even like I said, with Kanye West. Y'all don't like that he likes Trump, and y'all fucking are not fucking with his music anymore. So I don't understand why this, you know, even if you want to say that these girls should have known this, is that, and the third. My nigga R. Kelly prayed. He literally would hang out at malls.
A whole ass predator. A whole,
are you kidding me?
Ass
that's nasty.
Predator with a network of niggas helping him. Like,
yes.
bruh.
Girls were fast in high school with the boys in high school. So, like you said, if a girl is fast with a grown ass man, who allowed that?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with asking these hoes for their ID. And if she don't have an ID, then she probably ain't old enough.
Get it?
Dumbasses. The fuck?
Yeah. People
hold yourself accountable.
People are able to compartmentalize when it's convenient. And I'm going to just leave it at that.
I just want to say one more thing really quickly. Because, you know, I just have a issue with the way that boys were raised versus girls. Someone posted something. I'm not even going to read all of it because it's really long. But it says, Imagine if masturbation was normalized for little girls the same way it is little boys. Little boys turn 10 and suddenly they can lock their doors, surf the web, stay in their room all day without judgment. Girls turn 10, that period drops, and mama talking about they're a woman now while simultaneously getting no privacy and being told they no longer can play with boys. Like, mom, what? Give little girls the knowledge and freedom to own their sexuality first, and they wouldn't be so quick to give it away. Now, all I'm saying is maybe the way that we raise boys contributes to this. For instance, when I hear men talk about how 20-year-old women have sex with them for their first time, they don't call that rape. Yeah. Other men will be like, I mean, that sounds lit. Like, you was 14 and a 20-year-old was coming at you. I mean, that's lit. Like, I literally saw people saying this while bashing the 14-year-olds for fucking with the older niggas in high school. It was the craziest shit. Like, it's okay for y'all to be just hypersexual beings.
Bro, didn't JD give Bow Wow a stripper to lose his virginity to? And he was like still a kid? Like,
I mean, we've heard this time and time again.
I mean, like, what the fuck?
Maybe if we weren't normalizing that kind of sexual behavior from boys, that they wouldn't grow up to think that it's okay to behave this way with younger women. And maybe if we didn't, not share any actual real facts about sex other than sperm meets egg makes baby with girls, they wouldn't be so curious and want to hop on the first dick that they see. Like, Black people need to do better. Honestly, all the way around.
Yeah. Definitely agree. Factory. But yeah, there was a lot of surviving going on.
I could go on, but I'm gonna just keep it cute.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I feel like it's easier to abuse someone when they are isolated. Their maturity level is not there, and like, this man literally was punishing, beating, separating, withholding food, telling them when to pee, all this other stuff.
We didn't even get on all that.
Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it was so much going on that even if you separated and was like, let's just focus on the abuse. If you even took out the girls' ages from this, it would still be trash and disgusting. Exactly. So the fact that you put all of this abuse, and then on top of that, it was kids. And then on top of that there were adults around and present and witnessing and didn't step up and be like, Kels, this is disgusting. Or trying to help save these girls. Trash around the fucking board.
But y'all niggas want to dance.
Child, look. Dice
some coons.
Dice has rested her case. Canceled.
Anyhow. Yes. Black men, I've said this before, ain't nobody out to get y'all. Shut the fuck up.
I mean, if you being Kels, then yeah, we out to get your ass. But I mean, if you know what you're supposed to do, then yeah.
The system is out for us. All right.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Good, bad, ugly. What do we do? It's been.
I was about to say good. It's been a whole lot of good, a whole lot of bad, and a whole bunch of ugly. Good is that the damn holidays are over. How about that?
Thank God.
Like, literally, this has been the most holiday season that I have had in a really long time. It seems to have dragged on forever, and yeah, I'm just happy it's over. So that is my good. I don't know. I don't really have anything too bad. Like, I mean, life is life. I'm dealing with it. 2019. I'm trying not to dwell on the bad shit. Just look more at the positive in the light, and maybe more positive in light will be shined upon my life. I'm releasing the same shit I was talking about in 2018, and that's this fat. I was looking at pictures that I took on New Year's, and I was just like, my friends are not real friends because the fact that y'all let me look like this, like, yeah. So I'm still releasing fat, but once again, I'm not doing anything to release that. So once again, I'm in the same like rabbit hole. I don't know. That's it, I guess. I don't really have too much that I'm good, bad, and ugly. What about you, Bo?
I am also glad that the holidays are over, mostly because people be fake nice around that time, and they want me to be fake nice.
My God.
And I'm me all the time, and so it's just like, if I didn't like you in October, I don't want to hang around you in December. So there was a lot of just making me be around things and people that I didn't want to be around.
Oh
So
my.
there's that.
Okay.
Moving forward. Oh, guess what, listeners? I saw my mama over the holidays after almost 2 years, and I said to her, "Won't God do it?" We still got some things to talk about, though. I don't want y'all to think that this is like.
But it's step one, and for those of you guys who have been with us, this is a step forward. So,
it's a huge one.
Yeah. So applaud.
We actually spoke this weekend, and I told her, for my mental health, we gotta nip this in the bud, because we go through this every couple years where we don't speak. This was the longest, though, the whole 2-year thing. Yeah. So I just told her, like, I'm not, like, we good, but we not good until we have a conversation. So that was
y'all want to get good, not just good.
I don't even care if we even get good again. No, and I'm not saying that to be. I just need her to understand that the same way that I know that I am an adult, so that I play a part in this. Mm-hmm. At the same time, just like I feel Kels should be held at a higher standard than those girls. I feel like my mother, being that she is my mother, should be held at a higher standard. That's all.
Yeah, I get that.
Always releasing negative energy. Always. This week I've come to some. Well, it's early on in the week when we're recording, right? I've come to some realizations in my personal relationships, and I'm just hoping that I can move forward. I scheduled a day with a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, because a bitch needs a little bit more work than I thought, and that's okay.
Right.
And
better you. Hashtag do better 2019.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. And I'm just hoping this year that I get more money and travel more and have more sex. There we go.
Bam, bam, and bam. Okay. I didn't have much tea because I feel like this whole R. Kelly thing was tea. But I did want to put out, and I'm so going to probably say her name wrong, but Centoya Brown. Is that how you say that?
Yes, come through.
Yes, she was granted clemency this week and will be released August 7th of this year.
And I'm hoping that she has a great support system, because her ass is going to be on probation for 10 whole years. Sounds like a setup.
That is the motherfucking setup. They gave her the Meek Mills deal. Because let me tell you something.
So y'all want to talk about somebody being out to get somebody, which y'all dumbasses thinking because somebody put a documentary out about some shit that actually happened, that, they were attacking the black men. No. Being locked up since you were 16 years old for 15 years? Killing a 49-year-old that solicited sex from you, which is a fucking crime.
Dog, he bought her from a sex trafficking ring. My G.
Are you kidding me? And then being placed on probation for another 10 years. That's the system being out to get you. That is an example. Shut your weak asses up.
Dog.
I'm about to go.
But look, I didn't mean to get Shay mad again, y'all. I just want to let you know that we happy for the queen, that she's getting out. Yes. Like, she's I think she was working on her bachelor's degree or something. So I think by the time she's released, she'll have that. So hopefully,
I know she already has her associates.
Lit. So I hope she comes out and, like you said, has the support system to do bigger and greater things.
We got to make sure that we keep her on a straight and narrow so she doesn't end up back
like the system probably wants her to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I had. Did you have anything? Kels drained me.
Literally. And having to hold in all of my thoughts until today to record drained me as well, because I
know you want to go ham on social media. I know you did.
OMG. Being able to live tweet during the episodes was my only outlet. If y'all want to go, check us out. We're on Twitter at The Chatty Patties.
And we appreciate all you loves that tuned in for the live tweet and telling friends to tell a friend. And we have noticed, and we appreciate you guys for sticking with us and staying down. The new listeners, we appreciate you and we welcome you guys. And like we said, catch up, because this is episode 21. So we got 20 before this that you can go ahead and listen to at any time, everywhere where we're streaming. You can go to our website where you can get all the links directly to where we're linked at, and streaming us www.thechattypatties.com. Yep. So we appreciate you guys, and we are happy to be back.
And for the 2019.
So,
oh my God, real quick.
What?
When we say for the 99 and the 2000, that's 20 years ago, fam.
No.
Let's go. Bye, listeners.
You were working with some magic. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Bye.